A couple of wins going into the international break. How are you feeling as you prepare to return to Championship action this weekend?
We are looking forward to back to the Hillsborough again. So we play at home on Saturday. We like to play with our fans. We enjoy a lot to play and see a lot of people around our team. The support before was very good, and I appreciate that, and I say thank you to our fans. I believe that to support, because we are in better mood in this moment, we are playing better, we are winning points. I believe that the support will be massive on Saturday, and I think that is a game that really will need it, because we will play against a team that is in the good position. They have more 7 points than us. Away that they just lose so far one game. They win in Fulham. They win important games. So we analyze the team. It will be a tough game, and we need the support of our fans. Understanding that we are also in the. We did a good week of trainings, or 2 weeks, good 2 weeks. We recover most of the players. Everybody is almost available. Just that players that did surgeries will be out, and the internal competition is very high. So the training was with very good intensity, and we have good expectations about the game on Saturday. But understanding that will be a tough game, and I think the beginning to start to thinking and win the 3 points will be do a big respect to the Bristol. After this, we must play our football, and we can achieve a good afternoon on Saturday.
How big is the challenge of continuing the momentum you've built up when you've not had a game for 2 weeks?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We are in good. We are playing very well the last 4 games. Last 4 games we play really well. Starting derby, after with the 2 home games, even we draw 1 game, but we lose a lot of chances in that game. After we win to Millwall, we win now in Aston Villa with all of them, in my opinion, with very good performance. One or another better than another, but the level of the performance was very similar in these 4 games. Understanding that against derby we play 11 against 10 most of the games after the 3 minutes of the game, but we did really well. So I believe that we'll continue to progress our team, focus, and play the same football.
What type of team are Bristol City? What kind of an opponent are you going to play this weekend? They've had a decent start in the Championship so far, haven't they?
Yeah, Lee Johnson are doing a good work since he arrived to Bristol. They have organized a team. They score a lot of goals in the set pieces, but they play a similar football like us, similar principles. They like move the ball. They are organized. They are in 4th position, and they deserve it. Be in that position so far. Will be, as I tell you, will be an interesting game, because will be 2 teams with a similar process. But of course, we think play at home with our fans, with the support of our fans. We can and we will fight, of course, to the 3 points. But again, first thing to try to win the game will be respect them a lot. Understanding the strong points, because they have strong points, is why they are in 4th position. But they have weak points, like all the teams, and we will explore the maximum the weak points that they have.
It's very close and congested, isn't it, in that top half in the Championship, and a win in this game will take you inevitably close to that top 6 ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't be bored to talk all the time about the same thing, but minimum more 5 points. We must be with more 5 points if the things it was normal so far, and if you put 5 points addicted to the points that we have, you will see which position really we was in that moment. But there are circumstances of the game that make us stay without some points in different games. But I believe that this is because this is a marathon, can happen to another teams. And the competition is very, as I told you in the first day of this season, if you remember, I said to you that there are 12 teams, I think 12 teams that is fighting to direct promotion, and really they have abilities to achieve this position. And there are more teams, outsiders, that don't play with a big pressure, that can achieve a good position. So when we are in the competition like this, it's important the balance, it's important to understand the bad moments and drive the team in good way in the bad moments, because all the teams in the season will be with a bad period, and some teams in the bad period they will be in panic, so they will be more down and more down. Some teams will control the emotionals, will believe in themselves, and they continue. I think so far we are doing this, so we know that we come like a whole, and but in this moment we are in better position. We are not happy in this moment, but we are in good way to achieve a good position.
How much are you benefiting from Adam Reach's recent form and the fact that he's got 3 goals in 3 games?
No, listen, we are coaches. We think different, of course, because we must see in different way the players, and we are not too much about the conjunctures, but we are thinking more about the structures, the things more solid, the things that make the things in long term, and don't look to the last 5 minutes of the players, of the circumstances. So when we bring a player like Rich, we know which player we bring. He's not playing Middlesbrough, he was on loan, but we believe in the player. We believe that with the time, young, 23 when he arrived, 22 when he arrived, very good abilities, technical, very high standard, a fighter, a runner. He's a player with very good quality English, so it's something that we know which player we bring. Of course, all the players have a period that they must adapt it, the club, they must adapt to the way that we play. And after, when they adapt, they look better players. But it's not because one period the players don't. It's not the case of Rich, in my opinion, but don't do so well that we must put the player on the side. This happened, if you remember, with Gary Hooper. Also in the beginning, I believe that first 3 months everybody said, why you bring Gary Hooper? Gary Hooper was not playing Norwich in that moment, and after everybody recognized that he's a big player. Barry Bannon was not player also when he came here. He's not playing. When he came here, in this moment is one of the best players of the championship. When we bring Jordan Rhodes, everybody was exciting. After he didn't score in the period goals, and he was not really connected with the team, we would take the things more difficult, and everybody said that why we bring Jordan Rhodes. In this moment, he understands better the team. He starts understanding exactly what he wants, like Gary Hooper when we bring Gary Hooper in the beginning of the season. And after he starts doing, now he's completely connected to the team. He understands exactly what we want. He's scoring goals. He runs less, but he runs better, in our opinion, and he recognizes this also. Fernando Forestieri was the same. He's not playing in Watford when he came. He comes, takes some time. When he starts doing, he did well. So what I try to pretend to say that we must think different. We believe in the players that we bring. It's not the circumstances in one moment that the player is not in good way, that is not a good player to us. No, they have value. We know which players we bring, and we must give them time, understanding, and not make the things so exciting in the opinions about Rich, about the Rhodes, about Forestieri, and so on, and not put them so down when the things is not in good way. They are a middle in everything. So they are good players. In this moment, Rich is in good way, good to us. Jordan is scoring goals, is good to us. But if Rich tomorrow don't play so well, but still fighting to the team, if Jordan Rhodes don't score goals, but still playing well to the team, we'll be happy with the players. We will not put the players on the side. So I think I try to understand, I try to the people understand that we think different. So we don't, we are not the persons that just to look to the last 5 minutes of the life. They are a long period, and they are a future also to everybody.
On Jordan, a few weeks ago, he said he just needs a goal really to sort of get himself back in form and to get some confidence there. Have you seen and noticed improvement maybe in Jordan, in how he is, and is his confidence gone up since he got those 2 goals against Millwall and Villa?
Sometimes it's take time. Sometimes, believe me, it's not easy. Some players more easy. Is why I mentioned here also, for example, about to reach that he come and start play all the games. Some players is more easy to understand what the team are performing, and some players take more difficult to understand. About Jordan, it's not difficult to explain. He play all the time in one way. Championship play in one way a long time, but championship is changing. You know that it's changing now. Typical teams, British typical football, is very few teams that play now. So central backs play more longer to the attackers, but there are a lot of teams now, maybe 80% of the teams, that play different from the back. So the central backs start building the attack of the teams. So if you don't have players in attack that understand this to block the opponents, easy than other team go inside of you and they score goals and make you a weak team. So the attackers is very important. But when you play all your life in one way, of course, when you must change something to understand, take time, because you do something all the time. Good to us that, for example, now Jordan understands exactly what he did. Very good, better than I expect against Aston Villa. That job, he did really very well, and he did the job, in my opinion. And he knows that run probably less without ball, maybe half, but is more fresh to score goals when we win the ball. So. Again, some players come more, take more time to understand. The players, maybe also because the past, about the position, understand more quickly exactly what you want. But you must understand that when you have a philosophy, when you have one way that you play, it's the players that must adapt to the way that you play. It's not the team that must adapt to the players. Because if you do this, you don't have a philosophy. You are adapting to the players that you have, and there is something wrong if this kind of things happen. But good to us that all the players are adapted.
How pleasing was it to see the types of goals that you scored against Aston Villa as well? You know, reaches, shot from distance, the passes involved in setting up Jordan Rhodes. Is that a big indicator, do you think, of a team that is getting back on form as well, the style of goals that you scored?
Listen, I understand and makes sense what are you talking about, but listen, if you are talking about Aston Villa, if you back to the game against Barnsley, if you check the chances that we had in that game, because we have 7 or 8 clear chances, we didn't score, and we could score, and there are more games like that. So sometimes put the ball inside the net make all the difference. You know that sometimes one opinion about one game that finished 0-0 with 8 chances is one way, and a team that win 1-0 in the last minute with 2 chances make different opinion about the game. This is normal in football in all the world, but you must understand that to us it's not the same. Of course we want to win the games and it's important, but we did very good things before also to achieve. So if you ask me if they are a phenomenon that make the things happen more often, when sometimes probably about the confidence of the team make the things, the lucky come a little more to us. I don't believe too much in the lucky, but we must try to find the lucky. But there are a situation that when we are in good way, everything good happen to you. You shoot from 50 meters and you score 1 goal. And before you are not, the team is not with the confidence, you shoot 20 times and the ball go to outside. So this is, I believe that this is sometimes the confidence, the general confidence of the team, make the things, the good things are happy. The context that we give to the players make the things happen, because when we score goals from far away with shoots, when we, with the creativity of the players and the good skills, is something that we try to put in our trainings, try to create this scenario to the things happen. But you know, life and football, the things sometimes come, sometimes didn't come as we want.
Jacob Butterfield seems to have had a positive impact since coming into the starting 11. What have you seen from him? What do you think he's added to this side since he started the last 2?
And another player that is in the conditions that I said before is it was not playing in derby or playing not too much this season. When he comes, some criticize because why we bring this player and so on. And now he's completely adapted and he's show the abilities in the last games because really is a very good player. He's a very good central midfielder. He control very well the game, very good technical. He's aggressive now with us, more aggressive. We need that in the middle in the midfield. He's aggressive, shoot very well with both and pass very well with both feet. And is a player with a very good quality in the best quality that we have our midfielders at the same level. I can say that one is better than another because with different abilities they are really very good players. And Jakob is we are really very happy with him because also you know that he's a player that when the rhythm is very high, it's like the cars when they have the different speeds, you understand? You know when you put the first, second, third, fourth and five. And in midfield is very important because if you have a player in midfield that play all the time in first or play all the time in five, maybe crash the car. And you know exactly which speed he must put in the game. Experience. We addicted a very good player to our team and very happy with him.
I know you mentioned injuries at the start and situations pretty much the same, but I wondered if there's an update on just how long Sam Hutchinson might be out for. Is it a long-term thing or could he be back soon?
The normal will be some weeks, like I don't know, maybe 2 months or something. But you know, Sam is a different player. Is a player that usually recover faster than another. So. We can't preview when we'll be back, but sure that we'll be back soon. That everybody expects because Sam is a different player.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kieran Lee was injured just before. Is he recovered? Is he still a little bit off, or is he available for Saturday?
Kieran Lee is that player that I told before. Is a player that we must manage him. So. He must stay out in the game. If you remember, he came inside against Millwall, but he was not 100%. I can feel it even 20 minutes. And after he didn't play against Villa. He was not involved in the 18 because he was with pain. With the international break, he rested and he came completely fit and ready. So he's a player that we must manage him. So, for example, in this moment, he's 100%. He's training 100%, but with a game or with when the training is more hard, probably next day we must manage him. So we'll be a player that we must manage in this way. But we have 3 games next week, and we believe that he can be important. If not in all the games, will be important in the games during next week.
You touched on Jordan's form there. The partnership that Gary Hooper had with Stephen Fletcher, and certainly in the early part of the season, was very good. They worked very well together. Are you confident that Jordan and Gary can have that similar relationship with them?
Listen, again, so we talked about partnership before between Fletch and Hooper. I said the same. We don't have a year partnerships. We have players that can be ready to play or not, and depend also about the opponents and the strategy. They are playing these games. They are playing very well, but Fletch this week was with gastroenteritis, but he's training now. But he's a little weak, but he's training now. Lucas is training very well. Nuyu came because he have an impact in the national team when they win in the last. When they turned the 3-2 to 4-3, and they make a big impact in the team and come back with a big confidence also. We are happy with attackers. So with which players we put to play, I am sure that they will do okay. They'll do good.
First year, what position are we at with him now? He's back in Sheffield now? Is he within the club?
No, he was here this week now to do a check-up about the. He was first was with a doctor that did the surgery in Italy, and after he came here also to do a checkup about the situation, and he's really very well. He's under the previews to this time. Nothing complicated. I explained before that is an injury that sometimes can take 9 months or 8 or 9 months. I said that I have expectation that we'll be back on January. January will be 4th month. I still with my expectations, but it's just my feeling that in the end of January he could back. But just my feeling. I don't want to put any pressure, because if he'll be 8-9 months, will be all the season. If he back after 4 months, will be in January or February. But I believe that will help us in the decisive part of the season.
We're 16 games into the season now. Is this the time of year now where you believe that the league starts to show its true self, really?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not now, because if you look to the competition this season, comparing with the previous two, we are not playing this season in championship too many games on the row. So in the few games. So we are playing almost one game by week. It's very atypical so far. In December will be more games in December. In January also. I think because I try to tell you that manage a team in these circumstances will be different. It's not the same. You manage a team, play Saturday, and Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and like this. So we'll do more difficult to the teams, to the coaches and to the teams. So this kind of difficult didn't come yet to our competition. When this come difficult come to the competition, I believe that some teams will manage well, some teams will manage so well. It's normal in the competition, but is something important in the competition to evaluate. So I believe that in the end of January we will have a better view about what will happen after this, because so far I still think that is very early. What the competition showed to us that is very balanced. There are teams that, even the teams that are in the first positions, that sometimes win a difficult game in theory and they lose against a team from the bottom. And there are a lot of teams that, with the big expectations, that still in the middle, and they wish that and they have expectations to be more high. So will be very hard, the competition this season.
I know it's difficult to look too far ahead. You've got this game on Saturday, and you've got two very tricky, quite long distance trips immediately after. Does that put a bit more emphasis on this game against Bristol City? No,
it's the same. No, we'll be focused in this one. After this one, we have time to recover to the next one against Ipswich, so will be not a problem. Will be a relative problem between Ipswich and Reading that we must manage the better way our team. But we have a squad and we'll be ready to do that.
Do you envisage using quite a lot of players over the course of the next?
Let's see. So you see that it's not a problem today. It's not a problem to Ipswich, sure. Between Ipswich and Reading, let's see. Also, so depend of the players, depend which players are playing, if they recover or not. You know. Some players you can substitute or not, so depend a lot of things. But it's important. If you ask me if it's important to be with a good squad in these kind of scenarios, of course. How much you have options, or better you can manage the games, of course. And we are happy with the options that we have, and all the boys are working and training really very well.
And has this sort of break in between games, has that helped to sort of get everybody together and focus the minds on what's going to be a very, very difficult?
No, if you saw it after the breaks, we come here in the very few exceptions. We come back strong. So it's my expectation that we back strong on Saturday. And it's important to us because when we have this kind of period, there are something tactical that the teams are missing, because we don't have too much time to training, and we can introduce and improve different things like we did this week. Also show some videos about the good things and bad things that we are doing and correct the things with calm, because we don't have the pressure of the competition. And this is important, these breaks, to try to improve the team.
It's interesting with Jordan what you're saying. You said you've encouraged him to run less without the ball, to kind of adapt him really into how you want to play.
Listen, what is the point? So when you play all the life, in more 80% of the teams play one type of football. So with more long balls, second balls, and so on. To the attackers, it's easy to understand what we must do in these kind of situations, because the central backs don't come back. If you look to a game, you are a striker, you play against opponent, and opponent all the time, when you go to him to press, he put a long ball. So you know exactly what you must do in that situation all your life. But the championship is changing a lot. So the philosophy, not just to the foreigner coaches, also to the British, like Lee Johnson in Bristol, and other coaches with quality, and they try to move the ball from the back. So if the central backs move the ball in different way, you can act the same. Because if you act the same, something is wrong. Because they will not put the long balls, they will try to manage the balls, they will try to pass the ball. So you must understand your role in that situation. So if you understand clear what you must do, I believe that you'll run half, but you must run probably better. Again, it's all the life to do something. When you change something, it's not easy to understand in 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I believe in this moment Jordan understands exactly what we want. The indication in the last game was really very good against Aston Villa, and because he do this and stay more in the position to understand what he must do, maybe probably will run when we don't have the ball, he run less than before. So it means that he's more fresh when we have the ball, to have clear evidence to score goals and so on. Is what I try to explain. This process happened with Gary Hooper in the first 3 or 4 months also in the past, and some players are more easy to understand, and because they have different experience in the past also than others. But this is the life.
I was going to say that. Can Jordan then use Gary Hooper as an example? Because Gary's changed his game, where he's learned to drop a little bit deeper, and he plays a slightly deeper role than when he would have done at Norwich or in Celtic, where he was a bit more of a penalty box striker.
Yeah, Gary Hooper is a different player. In my opinion, is not a number 9. If you put him alone in the attack, it will be very tough to win. So when you think about a number 9, you think all the time. So if he's a top scorer, is to play in the last line. So let him play alone with 2 wingers in the. I think it will be difficult to get Hooper play alone in the attack. He can do that, but it will be very difficult. Jordan will be more easy to him. Fletcher will be more easy to him. Nuyu will be more easy. Lucas will be more difficult. So there are players that play more in the last line. They are more to play in the last line of the defenders. Gary Hooper is different. He's a clever player that if the opponent open a space, where will be the space, he will be there, absolutely sure, because he's very clever in the movements. So he understands very well exactly what we want. In the beginning it was not easy, but after he understands, and in this moment we are really very happy, very happy with him.